You need to help my daughter get over her breaking up with you. A few years ago, I was dating a girl named Hannah. I say was because that's no longer the case. Hannah and I were in our mid-20s when we met and quickly started dating shortly after. A few weeks into the relationship, and I would be spending more time at her apartment than at my own house. Her parents paid for a place for her. We were inseparable. Unfortunately, my rose-colored glasses didn't alert me to the emotional burden that I had placed on myself by being with Hannah. Hannah was unfortunately not emotionally well. Of course, being in love tends to let you gloss over these things, and I managed to forgive her for going through my phone or stalking other girls I talked to online, or for giving me the silent treatment when we argued about something, or for texting her exes behind my back. However, all this came to a head after just over a year of dating, when she accused me of cheating on her with multiple women in a big spectacle in front of her classmates and friends in public after giving me the silent treatment for over a week. I decided I had enough, and when she told me we are done, I decided to walk and never look back. Of course, this didn't stop Hannah from trying to do a 180 and get me back, which resulted in me having to block a total of 7 different numbers from her, her friends, and her burner phones before she eventually hacked my Reddit account and after sending me messages through my profile deleted. I know what you're saying. Where are the entitled parents? Enter stage left. Hannah's family and I got along very well. Her dad and I met weekly for baseball, and her mom and I would often discuss things for her apartment. I would often go over for dinner. It became rather apparent that her parents had a difficulty dealing with her emotional well-being, and that they would many times look to me to help her during these episodes. So when Hannah came home in tears that I left her, her parents immediately contacted the one person who was there to help her during her emotional distress: me. In case you weren't paying attention, Hannah and I are in our mid-20s, and I was being contacted by her mother trying to explain how this was a misunderstanding and that I should come take her back. When it became apparent that I was not interested in doing so, her mother allowed Hannah to contact me through her phone, berating me for ghosting her and leaving our fabulous relationship. When Hannah finally hacked my Reddit and I was forced to change a plethora of passwords as well as check all my accounts for suspicious activity alongside contacting a lawyer, I finally reached out to her family to tell them what had occurred. I was met by her father stating that I needed to come discuss this breakup with her, that she was distraught and nobody else could help her but me. Apparently, I needed to help the person who broke up with me get over breaking up with me because I'm her boyfriend. It was then that I said to her father that no, Hannah is not my problem anymore, that I am under no obligation to help her through her breakup, and then informed him of the hacking and threatened legal action. He once again tried to ask me to at least contact her because I could only assume her parents were having difficulty handling her emotionally. I once again repeated what I said, that I have my own feelings to worry about, and reminded him that she broke up with me and you want me to come help her through this? I hung up. I never heard from any of them again, probably because they are all still blocked. EM and EK tried to steal $200 worth of digital downloads. Cass, me, well duh. AM, also manager, SM, store manager, SG, security guard, EM, entitled mother, ET, entitled teenager, PD, poor dad. This was my second year working at Walmart. As it was a slow day, I was browsing the area around the electronics, so it was neat when management came around. And when I was by the DVDs, I noticed a few cases hiding behind some products. The DVDs were there and fine, but I saw the digital downloads were gone. This did throw me off a bit because usually people would just take the whole thing and leave the case, but no, just the downloads. So I placed them in a damaged cart and wrote missing digital downloads, and plus the packages were open so we couldn't sell them because the disc could be damaged for all we know. As soon as some of my associates came back along with Awesome Manager, he asked if anything happened. I told him about the DVDs and he even got concerned because he also found some in the toys department. Electronics was between the toys department and shoe department. But as the day goes by, we kept finding more and more. We kept an eye out for suspicious activity until I saw a teenager, ET, by one of the new releases on DVDs. Also, manager also saw this and called in one of the security guards to keep an eye on the teenager. And that's when we can hear something opening and closing a DVD case. Also, manager immediately took action and walked up to her. Miss, may I ask what you are doing? I'm just browsing for something for my little brother. She was rolling her eye at him. The manager noticed something small in her hand and one of the DVDs shoved into the back of the shelf with the case open. I can't have you open the DVDs. Well, how do I know if you are not going to sell empty cases? She was getting hostile very quickly. I get that, miss, but you are still not allowed that. Entitled teenager was getting very defensive until the security guard was on side, and that's when I saw a woman coming down the aisle to stand by her. And that's when I knew it was the entitled mother. EM. Is there something wrong, sweetie? Yes, he's accusing me of stealing. Manager. Miss, me and my associate, EM. My daughter would never steal. How dare you accuse her of that? I was worried for manager because he was a retired veteran, can't remember if it was a Navy or National Guard, and he was prone to use his veteran voice if someone pushes him too far. I was almost on the receiving end of it one time, but he held it back. Manager. Madam, I can see the downloads from the DVDs in your daughter's hand. EM and ET were yelling at him at this point that it brought the store manager over because he could hear the yelling from the shoe department. Store manager. OP, is something going on? I can hear yelling all the way from the shoe department. Me, yeah, we've been finding open DVD products with the digital downloads missing, and also manager found the culprit. He nods at me and walks over to AM, ET, and EM. Store manager. Is everything alright? EM. Your manager is accusing my daughter of stealing and I will not tolerate it. I demand him to be fired and be compensated of the stress he's putting us through. As store manager was going to ask the manager, ET opened her jacket a bit and there were tons of digital downloads fall out from the inside of a jacket. I was even shocked as we all witnessed on what just happened. Security guard was close by and looks at store manager to give the signal, which was immediately. But security guard has to call for backup because entitled teenager tried to run for it. Security guard caught her, but entitled mom was now trying to get the guard to let go. Luckily, another security guard showed up and got her too. We had to empty the jacket entitled teen had, and she had over $200 worth of DVD digital downloads that were taken from their cases. We couldn't sell the DVDs, so they were put in for damages. Also, manager had to call the police and the cops had to take them away, and they were banned from other Walmarts as well. Even manager was wondering why bother taking the digitals instead of the whole thing. I told him that it could be a scam she was doing by selling the digitals as a high price and rips the people that buys them off by downloading the digitals so they couldn't use it. Someone did this to our games and sell them at GameStop. He thought I had a good point and just shrugged it off. Me, I was afraid you were going to go flippy on them. Also, manager just laughed and said he handled worse and told me to keep it up, baby of electronics. We all had nicknames and I was dubbed that because I was the youngest member there, and props to those that got the flippy reference. As the day went by, I saw a man walk up the counter and ask how I can help him. Poor dad. Hello, I'm the father of ET and EM husband. I just want to apologize of what they did. Me, it's okay sir. They should have known better and it is what it is. Turns out he was divorcing EM and tries to get custody of ET because EM was a toxic woman. But he couldn't get custody due to financial and is trying to find a better job. Poor dad tried to offer to buy the DVDs his daughter took the digitals from, and I told him I couldn't do that. Poor dad kept insisting, but I told him I would get in trouble and he lets it be. I haven't seen PD since I've worked there, so I hoped he's doing good and gotten custody of the daughter. I'm your mother, so you should give me half of your work money. A little backstory. My mother is not the entitled mom in this story, but her mother is. My mother's family didn't have a whole lot of money growing up and lived in a, not so normal home. I don't want to be disrespectful. Her mother, EM, didn't have a job, but nice dad and D did, but only $20 a week. They each had 7 kids together. Entitled mom was not the most respectful person in the world and encouraged her kids not to go to college. Out of the 7 kids, my mom was the only one to go to college and graduated. Now on to the story. While my mom was in college, she knew she needed money, so she started a lawn mowing business. $10 for one mowed lawn. The chaos began whenever her mother found out what business she was doing. One day, my mother opened up the door to find her mother standing there. The following conversation went like this. EM: Hey Em, how was your school today? It was mediocre. So I heard you started a lawn mowing business? Mom, having a oh shit, she found out a moment. Yeah, what about it? Well, since I'm your mother and I gave birth to you, don't you think I should have half of it? Mom, are you serious right now? EM: Yes, I am serious. Give half of it to me now. Mom, just generally pissed off right now. Fine. My mother then gave her $5 before she walked away. This continued on for a couple of years before she got a then boyfriend, now divorced husband, and decided to move out of that hackhole. You know what I meant. Nice dad understood while EM realized that meant no more payday for her and tried to stop her. Mom yelled at her and told her to stay the F away from her. She then moved out to stay with her now divorced husband and had 2 children together. They then decided it was not working and decided to get divorced. She then met a new person who is my amazing father and married him after a year and a half of dating. Her and my father then had me and my amazing little brother. She is way nicer than EM.